Namaskarams Master E.K.
Namaskarams Master E.K.
Namaskarams Master M.N.
Namaskarams Master M.N.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V. to your lotus feet.
Namaskarams Master C.V.V. to your lotus feet. धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः। ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो
Saraswati. From the point of light,
From the point of light,
within the mind of God,
within the mind of God,
let light stream forth
let light stream forth
into the minds of men.
into the minds of men.
Let light descend on earth
Let light descend on earth.
from the point of love,
From the point of love,
within the heart of God.
within the heart of God,
Let love stream forth
let love stream forth
into the hearts of men.
into the hearts of men.
May Christ return to earth
May Christ return to earth.
from the center,
From the center,
where the will of God is known.
where the will of God is known,
Let purpose
let purpose
guide the little wills of men.
guide the little wills of men.
The purpose
The purpose
which the masters know and serve.
which the masters know and serve.
From the center,
From the center,
which we call the race of men.
which we call the race of men,
Let the plan of love and light
let the plan of love and light
work out.
work out.
And may it seal the door
And may it seal the door
where evil dwells.
where evil dwells.
From the avatar of synthesis,
From the avatar of synthesis,
who is to come,
who is to come,
let his energy
let his energy
pour down
pour down
in all kingdoms.
in all kingdoms.
May he lift up the earth
May he lift up the
to
earth
the kings of beauty.
to the kings of beauty.
Let light and love and power
Let light and love and power
restore the plan on earth.
restore the plan on earth.
Из точки света, что в уме Бога,
Что в уме Бога,
пусть свет струится
пусть свет струится
в умы людей,
в умы людей.
Да сойдет свет на землю.
Да сойдет свет на землю.
Из точки любви,
Источник любви,
что в сердце Бога,
что в сердце Бога.
пусть любовь струится
Пусть любовь струится
в сердца людей.
в сердца людей.
Да вернется Христос на землю.
Да вернется Христос на землю.
Из центра,
Из
где,
центра,
где воля Бога известна,
где воля Бога известна,
пусть цель направляет
пусть цель направляет
малые воли людей.
малые воли людей.
Цель,
Цель,
зная которую
зная которую
служат учителя.
служат учителя.
Из центра,
Из центра,
что родом зовем человеческим,
что род зовем человеческим.
пусть план любви и света
Пусть план любви и света
осуществится.
осуществится.
И замкнута будет дверь,
И замкнута будет дверь,
за которой зло.
за которой зло.
От аватара синтеза,
От аватара синтеза,
который грядет,
который грядет,
пусть энергии
пусть энергии
изливаются
изливаются
во все царства природы.
во все царства природы.
Да вознесет он землю
Да вознесет он землю
владыкам красоты.
владыка красоты.
Да восстановят свет, любовь и могущество,
Да восстановит свет, любовь и могущество.
план на земле.
План на земле.
Loka
Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kalalam Bodhi Vidhumanandarupinam Anantaryatano Jatam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sri Krishnamacharyamanantaputram Sasarumitram Karumadranetram Gurun Gurunam Pilaram Pitronam Ananyasesha Saranam Prapadye Ananyasesha Saranam Prapadye Ananyasesha Saranam Prapadye. Yoga Prabha Samaradhya Janata Priya Janardhanam Vandeham Ramakoti Sadesikam Premarupinam Vandeham Ramakodisam Roginam Prabhakarasamam Dhiram Paramapremasundaram Prabhakaragrupa Jivanam Prema Bhavanam Pranadatiharam Krishna Rama Kodiswaram भजे आराध्रमा यतीन्द्रश्रीपदाब्जे सत्त्वसिद्धये यत्र जोले सविक्षिप्तं समस्तं चरजस्तमः सीतारामयतीन्द्रश्री भाववाङ्मयबोधकम् सहस्रमुखसन्निहितं श्रीलक्ष्मणयतिं भजे 3 days before initiation, 92 days in 90 degrees, 93rd day of judgment, the rod of justice rules, ark reaches shore, bird chips future, past double future, past meets future in man. सत्येनोत्तपिता भूमिः सूर्येणोत्तपिता द्यौः ऋतेनादित्यादितिष्ठन्ति दिवो सोमो अधिश्रितः सोमेनादित्या बलिनः सोमेन पृथिवी मही अथो नक्षत्राणामेषाम् उपस्थे सोम आहितः सोमं मन्यते पपिवान् यत्सम्पपयञ्चोषधिं सोमं यं ब्रह्मणो विदुः न तस्यास्नाति कश्चन. The earth is raised to poise by the law, existence, the vault of heavens, by the one who is the deliverer. By the law of rhythm, the Adityas take their places and Soma presides over space. By him, Aditi's sons derive their strength, and by him the volume of mass is derived. Now Soma has his place in the bosom of these nakshatras. When one squeezes the same head, he thinks he has drunk the Soma. When the initiates know as Soma, no one except initiates ever tastes. In his name we live, in his temple we live, in his fame we live, in him verily we live, until he opens his eye in us. In his name he lives, in his temple he lives, in his fame he lives, in him verily he lives, as he opens his eye in us. In the meanwhile let us wait. Let us look to him and not to each other. Let us call him in all, to find all in him. When every life is a car festival and not at all a war festival. Through the temple, not in the temple, you see God. serve until you forget that you are serving. Your life is yourself. Don't color it with your limitation. Others are your own impressions of others. Don't hate others. Life is for virtue. Virtue is not for life. Thou art time, keep time, you will be that. Watch is a symbol of time. So also, time is a glyph of yourself. You, the lower, have come out of the higher. You, the lower, is space from which you, the matter, comes. You, the higher, are time from which you, the space, have descended. You, the higher, came out from the highest I am. Trim your activity into time. Time is the lake and you are the ripple. Let the ripple merge into the lake. So the lake doesn't move. There is no lake. It is the sky. And the sun is reflection. The reflection is true. Prapurvagau
Purvajau Jitrabhano Giravasam Samitapasahyanantau Divyau Suparnau Virajau Vimanau Adikshipantau Bhuvanani Visva Hiranmayau Sepuni Samparayau Nasatyadasrau Sunasau Vaijayantau Sukram Vayantau Tarasa Suvemna Vadhivyayanta Vasitam Vivasvataha Grastam Suparnasya Palena Vattikam Amunjatam Asvinau Saubhagaya Tavat Suvrutau Anamantamayaya Vasattamaga Arunavdavahan Shashtischa Kavaha Trisatascha Dhenavaha Ekam Vatsam Suvatitam Duhanti Nana Goshtha Vihita Ekadohana Tavasvinau Duhato Dharma Mukthyam Ekam Nabhim Saptaseta Arasidaha Pradhishvanya Vimsatirarpitaraha Anemi Chakram Parivartate Ajaram Mayasvinau Samanakti Charshani Ekam Chakram Vartate Dvadasaram Sharnabhi Ekakshamritasya Dharam Yasmin Devadhivisve Vishaktastavasvinau Munchato Mavishidatam Asvina Bindumamrutam Vruttabhuyo Tirodhattam Asvinau Dasapatni Hitva Girimasvinau Gamudacharamtau Tadrushti Maha Prasthitau Bala
पुष्करस्य युवां दिशो जनयतो दशाग्रे समानं मूर्ध्निरथयानं वियन्ति तासां यातं ऋषयो अनुप्रयान्ति देवा मनुष्याः क्षितिमाचरन्ति युवां वर्णान् विकुरुधो विश्वरूपान् ते अधिक्षिपन्ते भुवनानि विश्वा ते भानवो अप्यनुसृताश्चरन्ति देवा मनुष्याः क्षितिमाचरन्ति तौना सत्यावस्विनौ महेमा स्रजं जया बिभृतः पुष्करस्य तौना सत्यावमृता वृथा वृते देवास्त्वत्प्रबलेन सूते मुखेन गर्भं लभेतां युवानौ गतासुरेतत्प्रपदेन सूते सद्यो जातो मातरमतिगर्भः तावस्विनौ मुञ्चथो जीवसेगाः स्तोतुं न शक्नोमि गुणैर्भवन्तौ चक्षुर्विहीनः पथिसंप्रमोहः दुर्गे अहमस्मिन् पतितोऽस्मि कूपे युवां शरण्यौ शरणं प्रपद्ये युवां शरण्यौ शरणं प्रपद्ये युवां शरण्यौ शरणं प्रपद्ये ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे ॐ श्रीं ह्सौं श्रीं उद्गिरः प्रणवोद्गीरः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वर सर्ववेदमया चिन्त्य सर्वं बोधय बोधय ॐ श्रीं ह्सौं श्रीं उद्गिरः प्रणवोद्गीरः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वर सर्ववेदमया चिन्त्य सर्वं बोधय बोधय ॐ श्रीं ह्सौं श्रीं उद्गिरः प्रणवोद्गीरः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वर सर्ववेदमया चिन्त्य सर्वं बोधय बोधय हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति वादिनं नरं मुञ्चन्ति पापानि दरिद्रमिव योषितः हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति यो ध्वनिः विशोभते च वैकुण्ठे कवाटोद्घट्टणध्वनिः हयग्रीव हयग्रीव हयग्रीवेति यो वदेत् तस्य निस्सरते वाणी जह्नुकन्याः प्रवाहवतु महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासारस्वती प्रभा इष्टकामेश्वरी कुर्यात् विश्वश्रीः विश्वमङ्गलम् षोडशी पूर्णचन्द्राभा मल्लिकार्जुनगेहिनी इष्टकामेश्वरी कुर्यात् जगन्नीलोकशोभनम् जगद्धात्री लोकनेत्री सुधानिष्यन्ति सुस्मिता इष्टकामेश्वरी कुर्यात् लोकं सद्बुद्धिसुन्दरम् परमेश्वरवाल्लभ्य दिव्य सौभाग्य सुप्रभा इष्टकामेश्वरी दद्यात् माङ्गल्यानन्द जीवनम् Do not complain that the process is difficult. It is subtle but not at all difficult. Do not complain that the duration of time to practice is too much. Remember that the sense of duration is your own projection. There is a beautiful succession in the process. A proposal from you is not a proposal from me. I dispose what I propose, but not what you propose. Your proposal is a proposal into objectivity, and its image is your desire, the corpse of your presence. Leave the method of proposing entirely to me. Then the mind is there to control the senses. You are there to control the mind. I am there to control you. Go slow. Practice slowly. You may not like slowness at first because you are quick by impulse. Quickness and slowness are your mental projections, so to say, symptoms. More significant things are of more importance. More important things appear to go more slowly to your little mind. See, the minute hand in your watch is slower than the second hand. The hour hand is too slow. Remember that your watch should be with its day hand, month hand, year hand, and finally life hand, be the pointer of your own span. Do not complain that the path is slow. Your discriminating will is the only hand in your watch which marks the hours of all your births. Regulate the speed of your second hand and minute hand with that of your discriminating will. Do not try to get at the will, let the will get at you. Submit yourself to the holy will and walk with your will on earth. Now will walks with you on earth. God walks with man on earth when oceans taste sweet as honey. This is a sure prophecy, and it comes to you when you walk with it. People talk of courage and they seek for objective values to hold their courage. Holding yourself is real courage. Hold yourself and your will holds you. Let your mind be transformed into the holy will. The touch of a magnet makes a piece of iron a magnet. The touch of your will makes your mind your will. People complain that the mind goes hither and thither. They say that the mind is wavering and not stable. Poor fellows, they do not remember that they are their own mind. A dog can go away from another dog, but the tail cannot go away from the dog. Let them remember that their minds are only their tails, but self-conscious. If your mind wags hither and thither, it is not good for you to obstruct it, suppress it, or control it. You cannot make an enemy your friend by opposing or oppressing. Be sympathetic, walk with him, talk with him, eat and dance and be merry with him. Get him round. He is already a friend. If the mind wanders, observe it and follow it until it follows you. Do not indulge in it, but follow it. It comes back and merges into the will and becomes yourself, the I am in you. Having the mind tranquilized, you taste the experience of the greatest happiness. And this is the yogic experience. Your dynamism is tranquilized and your consciousness is the cosmic consciousness. Link up your lower with your higher like this. With the taste of your experience, you will know what happiness is in the cosmic scale. The I am in you exists in all the living beings. Also you experience the existence of all the beings in your I am. Such is your glance, the yogic glance. Only with such a glance you can find equality in all. Then you can see all beings equal. By your sight, the yogic sight, you find me in all and all in me. You never disintegrate from me and I never disintegrate from you. When you find me in all the beings, you will worship me as one in all the beings. All are synthesized in me, and this is the cosmic synthesis. Then whatever you do it as a yogi. Do everything in this world, still you stand as a yogi in me. Then only you can compare others with yourself. Such a comparison keeps you in equality and keeps all in equilibrium in you. Happiness and sorrow are experiences in equilibrium, and this is yoga. Then the disciple questioned, "You taught yoga and true equality to me. No doubt about it. Such a state should be stable in me. The mind is unstable. Without making the mind stable, how can stability be entered into? The mind always wavers. It churns various thoughts. It is strong and dominating. Controlling the mind is like controlling the air. How is the first grip over the mind possible?" The Lord answers, "No doubt the mind is wavering and beyond your control at first. You have known what is yoga, but knowledge is of no use of controlling the mind. Two things bring the mind under your control gradually. One is constant application, which is called practice. Just as seeds are to be soaked in water and sown for germination, so also the known facts are to be put into application repeatedly before you get the results. Again, doing is required and not knowing. The second factor required is the constant practice of vairagya, non-attachment. Practice leaving off the results of whatever you do. Learn to put up with ease and live in any type of environment with ease. These two factors will give you the first grip over your mind. Self-synthesis is not possible before the mind is brought into stability. A constant effort to bring the mind to stability is enough for bringing self-synthesis. Then the disciple questioned, "Suppose one has constant application. If he does not succeed to the end and leaves away in the middle, what is his position?" Such a one fails in doing his actions properly. He also fails to get the happiness of synthesis. He fails in both directions. His position is insecure as the cloud in the sky. Is he sure to disintegrate as the cloud in the air? Is he lost on the way? Please clear my doubt before I follow. I find no one else who clears the doubt in a practical way. The Lord answered, "Perfection or no perfection, the very effort is progressive. An effort to synthesize never goes a waste. In any step, the practitioner is benefited up to the step, physically, mentally, or spiritually. No progressive attempt leads to a negative state. Suppose he dies in the middle, even then there is no retrogression. The planes attained by his consciousness remain the same even after death. He has done a good deed by practicing yoga and then died in the attempt. Sacred work leads him to sacred planes of consciousness. He lives there with or without a body until the result of his attempt is spent up. A sacred attempt made on the physical plane with the cooperation of his subtler planes produces a result in all planes. The duration of the result is in proportion to his attempt on the physical plane. An intense effort for a short time on the physical plane produces a permeating result for a very long period on the subtle planes. The disturbance of a storm for a few minutes is experienced by a tree until many months. An inspiring conversation for a few minutes leaves its mark for many years or forever. An attempt on the yogic lines produces an experience for a very long period. It is sustained even after the physical sheath is dropped. Further, it helps in his state to select a future body. Such a one is born in a pure and a healthy family. When a man with impure birth dies, making a significant attempt in the yogic path, he rightfully selects a body in a pure family. If the yogic attempt of a practitioner is denied by reasons of poverty, he acquires the right to select his future body in a rich family. Then his past associations begin to sprout to lead him further. In many cases, a yogic practitioner takes birth in a yogic family when he dies in the attempt. Such a right to select his body is very difficult under ordinary circumstances. Only a yogic attempt brings him such a right. Discriminative will continues beyond birth and death. Hence, his will sprouts into yogic actions according to the previous tendency and attitude. He again makes an attempt to progress further. For such a man, his new birth has no value. It cannot dominate according to its stages of his age. Even though his mind is diverted towards other things, it is rendered helpless by the strong gravitational pull of his will towards the yogic attempt. The very aptitude for yoga leads one beyond the capacity of sound, language and suggestion. For one who has already shown a strong aptitude for yoga, the conversation of others and the language of the scriptures suggest only the yogic path to him. Words fail to dominate with their intended meaning. Words have no meaning of their own. Meaning is attached by human minds and is channelized into common understanding. See how a poet changes the significance of words and transforms it at will in tune with what he wants to convey. Similarly, the will of the practitioner with a strong yogic aptitude in the past transforms the baser meanings of the words towards the direction of his intentions that are strongly pulled by his yogic will. The sight of a bird shot down induces the story of Rama in the mind of Valmiki. Make an effort. A yogic effort is always of a continuous transcendental value. Each successive attempt leaves him better in subtler planes of consciousness. His filth is eliminated step by step. He will be accomplished even through a number of births and reaches the goal. Failures are no failures in the yogic path. It is possible that the result of penance is lost at death. Knowledge may be dropped off by death. The association of deeds is also dropped off by death. The association of the yogic attempt is never lost. This proves that the yogi is greater than the one who knows, who does good things and who performs penance. I wish you to be a yogi. There are many paths in attempting yoga. The best path is to synthesize me in all, link up with me in you and me in all. Then any path is my own path.
Enjoy this wonderful morning.
Those who can read English and understand can have this small book, Prayers and Meditations.
Те, кто понимает по-английски, могут читать по-английски, могут получить вот эту книжечку медитации.
Because we have compiled all these meditations and prayers given by Master Ike into this small book.
Мы все вот эти вот медитации и молитвы мастера Ики скомпоновали в маленькую книжечку.
Study.